Hello, it is June 17th, 2025. I am here at Biltmore Hotel in Coral Gables to celebrate the 50th filming anniversary of the movie Shockwaves. It was 50 years ago this month that they were actually filming here. Even though the movie did come out in 1977, filming started on June 2nd, 1975 and ran into part of July. So I thought that was pretty cool to come down here and just catch the vibe and share this. So yeah, and actually next year will mark the 100th anniversary of this hotel being opened, the one in Coral Gables, the Biltmore. It was actually opened on January 15th, 1926 for $10 million, and it had 350 rooms, a country club, a golf course in the back, and a swimming pool. And actually at the time it was the largest swimming pool in the United States. It's huge, and I'll show you that later. But and that swimming pool was actually not the one that was shown in the movie Shockwaves. That swimming pool that was filmed in the movie Shockwaves was actually filmed at the Palm Beach Biltmore. So that is, yeah, different swimming pool altogether, which, you know, I'll show you. So I'll give you a quick view of the front, do a little pan around. This is the neighborhood here. This is beautiful. It's around 7:30 p.m. on a nice June evening. Nice cool breeze here. Just a nice quiet neighborhood. It's residential. Nice skies. It's just beautiful here. So this movie was filmed in two different hotels. The Biltmore Hotel in Coral Gables, this hotel obviously, and it was also filmed in the Palm Beach Biltmore Hotel, which is now known as the Palm Beach Biltmore Condominiums, and that can be checked out online if you're interested. So I won't be making it down there because they're condos. But the vast majority of the scenes in the movie, especially in the first half of the movie, were filmed here at the Biltmore in Coral Gables, with just a few exceptions. The exceptions that were filmed at the other hotel, the Palm Beach Biltmore, were the scenes with the swimming pool. You know, where Chuck was strangled in the evening. It was a half-empty swimming pool. And then also that was the same swimming pool where Rose was being chased by a zombie, and she ripped the goggles off, and then the zombie fell on the floor. That was the swimming pool at the Palm Beach Biltmore. And that they still have a swimming pool at the Palm Beach Biltmore, but it's not the same pool. It's in a different location, slightly different location, and it looks completely different than the one from the movie. So again, the other hotel, it's a new pool, slightly different location, and it looks completely different. It's just a normal sized pool with the other one. So, and if you're interested in seeing that swimming pool at the other hotel, the Palm Beach Biltmore, you can Google Palm Beach Biltmore Hotel. You know, images, especially from like the 1950s, 1960s. There's images on, you know, like Amazon or eBay. They have postcards, and you can check it out there and to see what it looked like, in case you're curious. The other scenes that were not filmed at this hotel were the scenes after they find Dobbs, right after they find Dobbs' body. There is Norman, Keith, and Chuck go to confront Peter Cushing's character in that big room with the Nazi flag, and he tells them the story, and then he pulls Cushing takes out the gun and tells them to leave. So that was actually filmed, that scene, at the Palm Beach Biltmore, that scene. So that was not here either. And also the other scene. So when in the beginning of the movie, after they get on the beach and Chuck climbs the palm tree, the top of it, and he sees the top of the hotel, those two, I think they're called cupolas, the red structures at the top, that's actually the top of the Palm Beach Biltmore. It is actually not this even though certain structures like that one up there kind of looks like it. But if you see the Palm Beach Biltmore Hotel and you see the top of it, that's actually the hotel that Chuck spots, the Palm Beach Biltmore, the top of it, which is, it throws you off because right after that scene where he spots where he climbs the palm tree and sees the top of the hotel, they start walking through the jungle briefly, you know, where they're all walking through, and then they come across, then they come up actually to this hotel, which is down, you know, right down there, believe it or not. So that's kind of a little bit filmed out of sequence, but in case you're curious, that was, yeah, he saw the Palm Beach Biltmore at the top of the palm tree, the top of that, you know, hotel, and then right after the jungle scene, they actually came to this hotel, the Coral Gables one, and that was filmed right up there when they come upon it. And what else? The only other scene which I believe was filmed at the Palm Beach Biltmore and not Coral Gables was the one where Keith, you know, played by Luke Halpin, goes and gets the pillows at night where everyone goes to sleep in the same room. I'm not positive on that, but I believe that was filmed, that scene was filmed in the Palm Beach Biltmore, because the interior of this, it looks, the rooms and everything, it just looks different. I mean, but I can't say for certain. That scene could have been filmed here in the evening, but in any event, but yeah, that's that. And kind of makes you wonder where the cast, you know, in the evening, where they slept as far as when they were filming here. I imagine that there's a hotel nearby somewhere that they probably all stayed at, or somewhere. I doubt that they stayed here since it was abandoned, you know, no running water or electricity, but it's not sure. So I'll do one more quick pan around of this and of the front of Coral Gables Hotel, Biltmore. Beautiful. And across the street there, that looks like it's an old church of some sort. All these, I don't know the name of the architecture for these roofs, but they have all the orange roofs, reddish orange. I'm going to walk up here real quick just to show you the scene. So after the cast and crew, once they walk through the jungle, after Chuck sees the top of the hotel, they walk through the jungle briefly, and then they actually come upon this part of the hotel for the Coral Gables Hotel, the Biltmore Coral Gables, and it's actually not the not Palm Beach Biltmore. So I'll just do a quick kind of a And there was a scene too here that they showed the outside of at some point during the movie. I believe it was when Keith's character looked out the window and saw maybe the dead zombie laying on the floor, or he was looking out the window at something. I think it was around this time that it was. They showed this outside of the building right here. Listen to those birds though. Those are parrots. I asked the hotel staff. They're parrots. And this is, if this looks familiar to you, it is because after they walked through the jungle, that part, and they all stopped for a second before they walked up the stairs. Rose looked up and kind of around. That's that right there. Okay. And there was a fountain. Obviously, the fountain wasn't working or in progress when the hotel was abandoned, but there's the fountain, very beautiful. And these are the steps that they walked up This is the grand ballroom up here. So this is the way they all walked up the steps. And then walking down here, this is where they kind of, Rose sat here for a split second, and then Chuck and Keith, I think, were trying to open these doors. And it made it seem like when they walked through here, it was the lobby, but that's a different part of the building. This is actually a ballroom with nothing in it. I don't know if you can see. But this is, they walked up here and there was some, those big, I think they're palm fronds or something like that. They were kicking out of the way. And also on the steps over there, they were doing that. Just going to walk all the way down. And then turn around. So this was the vantage point of when they were filming it, when they all walked up those steps and tried to open those doors to the right. And then Rose sat over there on the ledge for a second, and they were not able to get into those doors. Again, if you can see this, that's pretty much just there's an empty ballroom in there for special events. It's kind of cool. If you look down there, that's just another walkway, which they did not show during the movie. So let's walk back. We'll go in reversal, as if, there's another shot of the fountain. Beautiful. Walking back. And this is the very wide steps here. This is where, parts of their tree where they were moving when they were walking up palm fronds, they were moving. So, yeah, this is it. And then down here is just kind of different entrances to the hotel. There you have it. Getting ready to stop this. We'll continue other parts of the video. This is cool here. Just another view. They didn't show this part of the hotel in the movie, but this is just a different. There's a swimming pool. The swimming pool's on the other side of there, which I'll show you later. Beautiful. There's that, again, outside of the building where they showed. At one point, again, I think it was when Keith saw the dead zombie laying on the floor, or when he looked out the window at something around that time. And funny enough, when this was the building, but when he looked out the window to see the dead zombie that was lying on the floor, that was actually, the dead zombie was lying on the floor near the swimming pool at the other hotel, the Palm Beach Biltmore. So, yeah, certain parts were, taken out of sequence for, Now I can understand, once you see the size of the pool here, which is, it's like an acre-sized pool, it makes sense probably why the director decided to film the swimming pool scene there instead of right here, because it's just so huge. It's like a football field or two. We're going to walk back up into the main lobby. There's the front of it, dead center. Nice little fountain there. And this was the scene where when they came in through the doors, it was actually right here where Norman and Rose dropped their luggage. So it was not those other doors. So let's see. Here's the elevator. And this is the interesting here. They have parrots in here. Very cool. So coming up, this is the scene where the record player, when they all hear the record player and they all walk up to this spot right here. They stop right around here when they all hear the record player, you know, and then they look straight up, and that's where Peter Cushing is looking down at them. So it's kind of cool. There it is, right there. It's where he was there. And we'll walk up here, and this is. And these are those gargoyles that where they showed that. It's interesting. They're actually quite small. When they show it in the movie, they seem rather large, but this is them right there. I'll walk up these steps. So this is up there, a few steps. If you turn, so this is where Peter Cushing's character was looking down at the crew, straight down there, where the record player was, and he said, you know, why have you come to this place? And then he tells them that they must leave. So this is very cool. Check that out. I'm going to walk back down. I'll walk to the other side of the lobby. All the way down here. This, if you go all the way down, that's when the record player was playing in Norman, and Beverly walked out. It's down here, I'll show you. Again, there are the doors that they entered, and that's where Rose was leaning against, and that's where Norman was kind of leaning that pillar. And there's that kind of fireplace. If you can see that in the old part of the film. And there's one of those other statues on the other end right there. Yep. And all this back here is just kind of private event type stuff. Those doors are locked. That's just kind of private, all back here. But walking back, we'll go through the lobby doors that made it seem like, you know, when they were coming up the steps and they opened those doors, this is the, you know, I'll show you that it's different. again, so they all walked in, and then when they walked in, they came. This is not actually, you know, if you look at this sequence, so we'll walk out here and you'll see how it's completely different. There's that. You can see by the way the doors and the steps, there was, you know, this is not where they entered when they came into the lobby. It's different. So you see some steps going up. You see some steps going up there, and all that. And then there's turn around the other way. You see steps. Very beautiful though. It's kind of down here. There's a private little area for dining with tables and everything. Very cool. And then the back, everything in the back is a golf course. Okay, so continuing on from where we left off, just going to walk back here real quick and show you the golf course, country club, and the swimming pool, and that's going to be pretty much it. Hi.
Hi.
And there's that down there. That's just another dead end right there. Here's the steps that go down to basically take you to the golf course. Look at that though. That's beautiful. Look at those greens. It's just absolutely stunning golf course. If you know, if you're in the golf, make it down here. I'm going to walk just. There's another view of that. There's that. Again, after the, you know, as they walked up the steps, after the jungle scene, they walked up steps, and then, so that's another way you don't know this. There's no up steps here. Everything's level. So yeah, just to be clear. We're going to check out this swimming pool right now. By the way, this swimming pool, again, at the time, this was built in, this was there when they first built the hotel in 1926, and at the time it was the largest swimming pool in the United States. And again, this is not the swimming pool from the movie, obviously, as you're about to see. Check this out. Look at this swimming pool. Look at that. And they did not, I mean, it's just, that's, got like little private areas there, like cabanas, and then yeah, look at that. That's, now you know why he didn't film the swimming pool scene here. I mean, it's just to fill it up, like a 1/5 or, you know, 1/10 of the way would be like a crazy amount of water, you know. And because the Palm Beach Biltmore obviously was abandoned at the same time, you know, obviously they filmed Shockwaves, the other hotel, all that water that was in there that they filmed the, you know, Chuck being drowned in, it's hard to say whether that was added in there or if that was just, you know, leftover accumulated rain. I don't know, you know, but this, look at this pool though. Awesome, right? One more look. All right. And then walking back, this is just kind of earlier when I did the scene where they did walk in and walked up the steps and everything. That's basically on the other side of that, of those palm trees there, basically. So I'm going to walk back. Look at that pool. We're going to walk back in. This is just basically, we'll look up there. This is just kind of pretty. There you go. We're going to walk back in into the lobby area. This is just another entrance. Okay. All right, walking back in. There is a swimming pool. And then this basically just takes you right back to the lobby. So, rooms down there. And here we go. We're right back to the lobby. That's it. And this is what we already looked at earlier. So, I hope you enjoyed the little tour. Thanks for watching. This is the other side of the swimming pool from a different angle. This is the staircase that Dobbs and Chuck came up when they heard the classical music in the beginning. Come on, take a walk down. And it makes sense because there's a dining and a kitchen area back here, which is where they were, right back there. I'm not allowed back there into the kitchen, but I believe this is where it was. And I believe this is also the same stairwell where Keith and Peter Cushing's character were walking down when he was giving them advice on how to find a boat to get off the island. Unless it's on the other side, but I think this is the same staircase. And right here is when Keith was chasing Peter Cushing's character, and Peter Cushing stopped and he said, "Now that you have found me." And he gave him a little nod. This is right here. So the scene in the movie where the classical music starts playing, and then you see Keith and Rose walk out of a bedroom and they look at each other like, what's going on? And then before they start walking down the stairs, this was on this hallway, right around, could have even been this room right here. I don't know, but it was around here. They hear the classical music, look at each other, then they start walking down this way. And then they walk down here. And if this scene looks familiar, that's where Keith and Rose were walking down and holding hands right before they started walking towards where the music was playing, right before they came across Peter Cushing. So they walked down here, walk down. Keep going straight. And it was right around here, around the fourth pillar out, and you look up. And that's where Peter Cushing was, right up there. Very cool. So right when Chuck and Keith were getting into an argument about going back into the fridge, and he told him to, come back down, and then they came through this door, and Chuck threw his bag down and freaked out on Keith. Right here. That's it. And then moving back a little bit, there's the stairwell going down, which basically just takes you back down to the main lobby, I believe. wait, I wanted to make a correction. So yesterday I said in the beginning of the movie, so when Chuck climbed the palm tree in the beginning and he saw the top of the hotel, it was actually the Biltmore in Coral Gables here, and not the one in Palm Beach after I checked it out again. So right there, as you can see, it's because when he climbed at the top, the thing had 3 openings on one side and 3 openings on the other side, and it had a balcony on one side with the 3 openings, and then there's another little structure up top if you watch the movie. So and now it's the exact same. The only difference is 3 of the openings on the one side are boarded up for whatever reason. I'm not sure if you can see that in the video, but the 3 openings where the balcony is are still open. But just wanted to correct that. That was actually right here at the Coral Gables Biltmore. And you would think from the vantage point, the way, you know, I asked the staff here and I looked myself, if you keep going back, this is all golf course all the way back there. And even if you keep going, there's no actual that direction or even that direction. There's no ocean or beach. So likely what happened, you know, there's a bridge back there. I'm not sure if you can see it, and a bunch of just palm trees. I mean, obviously he did climb a palm tree on the actual beach, but when they showed it from the vantage point of the actual palm tree, the hotel, it, you know, it was not actually, it was somebody, you know, somebody else. It wasn't the beach, but it was probably just filmed in one of the palm trees back there on the golf course. I don't know if, you know, back a little bit, you know, someone just went up there with the camera and they showed, you know, that, because it was obviously further back than where I'm standing, but definitely not from the vantage point of a beach, just to be clear. So just want to make that correction. Thank you. Just here's a quick video right here of the rear of the Coral Gables Biltmore. Right here, I'll just show you. That's that. It's very nice, the back too. And I think there's a, that's where the swimming pool over there is, with the eatery. And then there's that's the pro shop back there. And none of that was shown in the movie, but it's been there forever though. So just winding down in the evening. There you go. These are the elevators. This takes you right back into the main lobby. They didn't really show elevators, weren't really seen in the lobby part. But you walk right out, and there you go. You're back in the main lobby as such. Again, this is where Peter Cushing was seen with the record player, right around here. From a different vantage point, but, and then the fireplace, you can't see it because of the bird cages, but fireplace is all the way down straight ahead. And then off to the right there is where I just came out of the elevators, which again, you cannot really see in the movie. Then out there is just all windows and such. And then the pillars, and there's the check-in desk right there, the right over there, and then the concierge desk is right over there. There's the fireplace all the way down. So these steps right here were when the classical music started playing, and Dobbs and Chuck came up from the kitchen. They came up right down through these steps right here. So that's that. Hello. Hi. And then walking out, again, I mentioned this earlier in another part of the video I did, but when you walk out here, this was the main lobby, but when you walk out, you know, it's a different building, a different altogether where they walked, you know, when they came up, because as you can see, if you walk all the way down here, you know, this is just straight across. There's no stairs going down like I showed in the other building. So they did a building switch, right? You know, when they were walking up and pretending like they were trying to get in to the main lobby. This is actually the main lobby here of the hotel, but the other building was just the where they were walking, you know, up the stairs. That's a completely different building. So. Yeah. And this is a ballroom here, which kind of cool. They have their meetings and stuff here and certain celebrations. This was not shown in the movie or anything, but this is kind of a cool room. And then this is just walking back into the lobby right here. This stairs where Chuck and Dobbs came up when the classical music started playing. There's a kitchen down there, which I'm not allowed into. And then go turn around the other way. This is the other staircase. There's a bar down there. It's a bar. And down here is just to get to the pool, and there's a gym as well over here. There's a gym. And this is just a swimming pool out here. Here is one last front shot of the Coral Gables Hotel, the Biltmore in Coral Gables. This is the front right here. It's in the morning. So again, the movie Shockwaves was filmed here at Coral Gables, Biltmore. Also, the Biltmore in Palm Beach or West Palm Beach, which was also abandoned back in the summer of 1975. And also, too, Reuben Train, who was on that movie, I was listening to an interview. He also said that there was an abandoned apartment building in downtown Miami where they filmed an interior shot or shots. He didn't specify the apartment or what scene, but I imagine it is either the scene where Keith gets everyone pillows at night when they're all sleeping, or perhaps the very last scene of the movie where you see Brooke Adams survived and she's in a hospital bed and she has that crazy writing and she's basically lost her mind. So that could have been the interior of the shooting location for the abandoned apartment building in downtown Miami. So, all right, so there you have it. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. It is June 20th, 2025, heading out today. Just closing up the Biltmore and Coral Gables right here. Just chilling at this is the infamous spot up where the record player was. It's early morning, but yeah, that's pretty much it. One thing about this hotel, which is interesting, is that they built this in only 10 months. 10 months back in when it opened in the beginning of 1926. So that's very impressive. And I think that was because of the land boom at the time in Florida. Also, as I mentioned before, this was filmed here at the Coral Gables and also the Biltmore in Palm Beach. But another thing which was interesting, I was watching the Reuben Train interview last night, and he said besides those two buildings, there was a building or an apartment building in downtown Miami where there was a filming as well. I don't know what scene that was, he didn't say, but it could have been the scene where Keith gives the pillows to everybody at night when they sleep in the same room, or it could have been at the very last scene of the movie where you see Rose in the hospital, going mad with the crazy writing and everything like that. That could have been the apartment or the building in downtown Miami, wherever that was. But again, he did not specify. So apparently there was another building where they filmed, at least a scene or two. So, but that's it. I definitely recommend coming down here to the Biltmore and Coral Gables. It's an awesome hotel. Everyone here is very nice, and can't say enough good things about it, whether you're a fan of the movie or not. So I'll do one last pan around here. And also, too, it's funny, right at this spot here where the record player was, this is where they serve afternoon tea. It's called late tea. There's a gentleman who comes out and sings and a woman who plays the harp, basically right where I'm standing out, this location. So, very cool. All right. Thanks for watching.
you.